Hey guys, this is Luke again, and wow, this has been the first in a while since I made a Ninjago video. Well, it's been too long, and I might as well start with another one. Let's go. I'm gonna go over my top 5 overrated seasons. The seasons that just get way too much love, and I'm struggling to figure out why do people love these seasons. And I want to know why you guys love these seasons, so I can get a better understanding. So, if this season makes it on your list, any of these seasons make it on this list, tell me why do you love these seasons, because sometimes I just don't get it. Either that, or it just doesn't work for me. It may not work for me, and it works for you, okay? So, alright. So let's get into the top 5. And at number 5, and to be honest, this season I really like, but to be honest, it's a tad overrated. Not too overrated, though. And number 5, I have Possession, otherwise known as Season 5. Now, I do love this season. It's one of my favorite seasons of all time, because of its dark nature, and because I love Moro as a character. But to be honest, sometimes there are a few things that there are a couple of fans that do like Possession more, and that's fine. That's fine. I could totally think it's fine. But there are some people that kind of confuse me with their logic as why they love it so much. Possession's not a bad season. It's not bad. It's very good, to be honest. But I think people get this wrong. A lot of people say Possession was the first true dark season, which I disagree. I think that title would go to either Season 2 or Season 3. Because, yes, they're not dark all the way through, but technically, Seasons 2 and 3, I think, hit somewhat of a dark / maturity. They hit it before Possession did. So, yeah. Good season, but just some weird logic put into it. Now we're going into the seasons that I don't really understand why they get all this popularity. Number 4, we have Sons of Garmadon, otherwise known as Season 8 of Ninjago. A lot of people were kind of iffy on this because when the design changes came out, everyone was hating on it. They were hating the shit out of it because the Ninjago community is just not willing to change. But this was the first season with the new designs, and we got a somewhat, quote-unquote, this is for me, personally, popular villain in Harumi, which a lot of people figured she was the quiet one. I personally did not, so I was actually shocked. I actually thought it was Mr. E, because I thought it was just way too obvious because he didn't really speak a word. But to be honest, she's alright as a villain, but not great as a character. I don't like her for some reason. For some reason, I just flat out don't like her. But she's a popular villain, and a lot of people are kind of a bit wishy-washy on the whole is she dead thing, because the Hagman say she's dead, Tommy Andreasen says she's dead, but the fandom does not believe she's dead and that she will return, which I don't think that's true. I feel like she's dead, her arc's complete, and there's nothing really to do with her. But another thing a lot of people, I think, love about this season is that the ninja finally lost. Which, yeah, so what? So what the ninja lost? Yes, it's something we didn't see. It's very unique. But I feel like it was the actual episode finale was just not executed that great. It wasn't executed that great. It was doing good, like, in the last few minutes of it, with the whole have you seen the end thing. But before that, it was just, something about it just seemed very off. And it just didn't feel like true Ninjago. It really did not feel like Ninjago at all. It felt like I was watching something like Power Rangers. So, it felt more like a Power Rangers season than Ninjago season. So, and I know a lot of people that love Season 8 because of Lloyd. which that's another really silly reason, at least to me, why people would love it. Then again, I do love season 3 because it's rain, so I really shouldn't be saying that. But yeah, the season I thought was pretty average. It was the weakest of the trio for me, of the Oni and Dragon trilogy, which is by far the most overrated trilogy. It's my least favorite arc, surprisingly. A lot of people are going to be mashing that dislike button because I know they love the Oni and Dragon trilogy so much. But personally, the community ruined it for me. And that's going to go into another video called Why the Community Ruined the Oni and Dragon trilogy for me. But personally, the season was okay, I guess, but not the best season overall. It's not the best. I believe there were better ones that were executed a bit better. Okay, number 3 is Tournament of Elements. A lot of people consider this to be the best overall season of Ninjago, and I can kind of see why. We had, Zane return, and we saw new characters, but in my opinion, new characters don't automatically make the season the greatest. You gotta execute those characters well, and some of them were executed better than others. But the worst part for me about it is, well, 2 worst parts. The 2 characters that I hated the most were the most important to the plot. Chen and fucking Skylar. Oh my lord. Chen is such an annoying villain to me. A lot of people love him, and a lot of people hate him. So he's sort of a mixed villain. And Skylar is mostly positive, which I still don't get why she's loved. She has like the most boring element ever, and the most OP. OP elements should not be allowed in Ninjago, other than creation and destruction. Those are allowed to be OP, but Amber is not. It wasn't made to be overpowered, like creation and destruction are. So, and a lot of people liked it. A lot of people loved it. Even my friend Daily Lord thinks it's the best season of all time, which that's definitely fact for him, but not fact for me. Sure, it did some good things, and this one is partially on me, but I predicted the second Serpentine War, just based on what Garmadon's little flashback on the actual first one. I was like, oh, is Chen gonna start another one? And lo and behold, Chen started another one. That's how easy it was to predict that. Yes, there was a whole Garmadon sacrifice and more returning, but still, when one character basically can spoil the second half of the season, that's when you know it's kind of disappointing. The second half was just disappointing, underwhelming, but the first half was good. Overall, bit of a weird entry to this list. Okay season, good first half, terrible second half, and just overall pretty predictable season. Alright, number 2. I'm surprised this wasn't number 1. But number 2, I put Hunted, or otherwise known as Season 9. This one I don't understand. Why do so many people like Hunted? It boggles my mind how people love this season so freaking much. I just simply don't get it. I don't get it at all. Is it because, the stories were connected? Was it because the ninja were actually building up? Going from the ground up? Like, what is it? Tell me. Can someone explain to me in the comments what makes Season 9 so special? Because I simply do not get it. The only scene I really enjoyed out of Hunted was Harumi dying, because then I said, "Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you!" Because I hated her so much, and so I actually cheered for her death. And that makes me sound like a heartless bastard. But, yeah. This season's very, very well loved, and to be honest, I just don't understand why. And then we move on to number 1. This season, I do not understand. If you're anyone other than this type of fan and you still love this season, I just simply don't get why you love it, because it boggles my mind how anyone is able to love it if they actually think of what's going on. But number 1 is Skybound, aka Season 6 of Ninjago. I freaking hate Skybound. It's so bad. It's forced freaking love shoved down my fucking throat. No one loves things that are shoved down their fucking throat unless you're being a mindless fucking zombie. There were so many problems with this season. And yet, I understand if you're a Jaya fan, you love it, obviously. But if you're anyone else besides a Jaya fan, why the fuck do you love this? Why? I don't get it at all. It has literally one of the worst endings ever to exist. It's literally the first out of the 2 controversial seasons of 2016, which was not a great year for Ninjago, by the way. But it just took away the intense moment that scene had. Come on. I mean, it's fine if you want to bring Nia back, but at the expense of reversing everything? No, I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't do that, to be honest. And it still boggles my mind how anyone is able to love this season. It's the love is so freaking forced. I don't give a damn how. If you try and convince me that it's not forced, you're gonna have a real heavy battle on your hands, because I will say every single time that it's forced. It's forced love. And a lot of people say the theme of this season is choice, not love. I mean, choice is a theme, I guess, but love is more, I see as more prominent. It's more of an obvious theme than choice. And people go with the less obvious one just to give the season, you know, some actual love to be backed up on. Because, yes, I do see choice involved in this, but love was so entirely forced that I couldn't say choice was the main season. I just simply couldn't say it, because it's so forced. Like, compare this love to episode 20 of season 11, where Zane says, "Pixel, I love you." That's not forced at all. And no, it's not because I love Zane. That's actual love. This is just and this I kind of saw was the beginning of the end for Jaya, because Jaya is faltering as I speak. Season 11, Jay and Nia have just been slowly going down as of late, especially Nia. She almost doesn't even acknowledge the relationship anymore. And it makes me freaking mad that the show just wasted the first out of 3, well, 2. I don't really count Kyler, because that's not really, it wasn't really a ship to me. It was more like a friendship that didn't really go anywhere. My gosh. Sorry, I had to get those feelings out of me. But anyway, that is going to be it for my video. I hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys subscribe to this channel by clicking on that red subscribe button and click on the notification bell to receive every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. By the way, explain to me, why do you love these scenes in the comments so I can get a better understanding, okay? Bye-bye.